Hello and welcome to Sense the Essence. Today let us explore power of the invisible. As we move around our day, we encounter these two worlds, these two experiences. One is the visible and the other is the invisible. Often we tend to think about and pay attention to the visible aspect of life. And often the invisible gets unnoticed, unacknowledged. But if we really think deeply, it's the invisible that is driving the visible. It is the invisible that carries all the power. Electricity, for example, is invisible, but that electricity empowers everything, lights up everything that we have in our house. Seed is invisible, but the seed carries the entire tree, the expansion of the tree. We can see the tree, we can acknowledge and appreciate the expansion of the tree, but it starts from a seed, which is invisible. The same way, if you look at atomic energy, the most powerful energy in the world, it is also invisible. You can't see an atom. That carries so much energy. Even the virus is invisible. And because it is invisible, it is so powerful. The same way, the role that I'm playing, the body, it's all visible. But the real being that is driving this body is invisible. But as soon as that being leaves, the soul leaves, this body doesn't function. None of its organ systems work. There is power in the invisible. These days, we're all connected virtually. How are we connected? Through the power of internet, which is also invisible. It's just electromagnetic waves. Right? So what happens is, because we tend to focus on the visible and we forget the invisible, the mind feels weak. If I notice during the day, if I feel my mind is getting drained out of energy, or if I'm having waste thoughts or negative thoughts, if I just stop and pause and check, am I focusing on the visible or the invisible? Even if I'm talking to someone, am I just looking at the visible aspects? Or am I engaging with the energy of love, with the energy of compassion, which is an invisible energy? Even when I'm talking to myself, am I talking to myself based on the actions or the roles that I perform, or is it based on the immortal and eternal being that I am? And I've felt in my experiences, the more I tend to focus on the invisible, the more my mind easily gets centered. And the most powerful energy in the world, the divine, the source, God, is also invisible. And the more I stay in the invisible, I feel it's very easy to connect to the source, because the source always carries this invisible energy, holds this invisible energy in his mind. So let us just experiment right now. this moment, let me appreciate the invisible energy around me, the invisible energy of the being that I am, the invisible energy of other beings. We're all spiritual beings. The invisible energy of the love of the source, the divine. Let me just connect to this invisible energy. Let the visible expansion fade away for a few moments. Let me just hold the invisible in my mind. The invisible is permanent. The invisible is powerful. All I need to do is just to pay attention to this invisible. And then the experience of peace, love, happiness is a very natural experience. Thank you